朋友们好，我是嗨旅程的 Angel，很高兴又和大家见面了。今天看到很多很熟悉的面孔，也看到一些新的小面孔，我们欢迎大家来到我们的公益讲座。相信大部分的小朋友们都已经放暑假了，以前这个时候呀，大家会有很多很丰富的安排，但是今年有点不同，所以小朋友们在家里学习生活或者玩耍非常的辛苦，很不容易。我们还需要坚持一段时间。相信我们的科学家一定会想出办法来，让我们回到我们正常的生活。小朋友们在家呢，也可以自己找找乐子。比如今天呢是六月节，6月19号，今天是六月节，也被称为六月独立日，是一个美国德克萨斯的节日。为了纪念南部黑人奴隶的解放，小朋友们可以回去研究一下这个节日的一些相关的内容，也可以学习一下。还比如下个周有我们的端午节，中国传统的节日端午节。想想端午节是怎么来的呀？我们吃什么呀？有什么文化传统呀？我们都可以学习一下。当然了，如果小朋友们还有时间的话，也可以张开双眼仰望天空，当然是太阳不太晒的时候。好了，我们热烈欢迎我们的 Emily 姐姐给大家讲一讲关于天空、关于宇宙、关于人类航天的一些故事吧。谢谢大家，欢迎 Emily。
Hi everyone, my name is Emily E, and for those who may not know me, I am a college student at North Carolina State University. First, I would like to thank Hi Travel for organizing this lecture once again, and I'm very happy to be able to see and speak with all of you guys today on an exciting topic that is very much correlated to our lives and our future. So first, let me share my slides with you. Okay. All right. So first, let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys recognize what this picture on the left is? You guys haven't figured out, this is a spacecraft called the Dragon. It is the first private spacecraft to take humans to space. In fact, it was recently launched into space to the International Space Station just 3 weeks ago on May 30th. Space travel and exploration is truly an evolving and going to new heights. And as NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine quotes, it is a new era in human spaceflight. But before we go into more details on present space exploration, let's go back in time and learn about how space travel all started. Before space travel, space was really a big mystery to the whole world. As World War II was going on, the usage of missiles and other weaponry really fueled a competition between countries. Tension grew between allies, the Soviet Union, which is a union of countries in Northern Eurasia, and the United States of America. Originally, they were on the same side during World War II. However, as the tension grew, they soon began to become rivals during the Cold War and what became the space race. The space race was ultimately a competition between these two nations to see who had the best science, technology, and economic system through the usage of space travel and exploration. The Soviet Union was able to take the lead in this race with their launch of the first ever satellite called the Sputnik 1 in the year 1957. The word Sputnik in Russian is word for traveling companion, and it is the first ever man-made object to be placed into Earth's orbit. In 1958, just 4 months after Sputnik's launch, the United States was able to launch a satellite of their own called Explorer 1. In addition, the president at the time, Dwight D. Eisenhower, signed an order creating the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, more commonly known as NASA. In the year 1961, the Soviet Union once again was able to take the lead with the launch of the first ever man into space, Yuri Gagarin. He became the first man ever to orbit Earth. His flight was a total of 108 minutes. 3 years later, the United States was able to launch Alan Shepard, the first American to fly into space on the Freedom 7 space shuttle, and later with John Glenn becoming the first American to orbit Earth in 4 hours and 55 minutes. Within this time, he was able to circle Earth 3 times. Up to this point, America was still behind in the space race. So in 1961, President John F. Kennedy declared that by the end of the decade, the United States would land a man on the moon. And so with that national goal in mind, on July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong took one giant leap for mankind as he became the first ever person to step onto the moon on the Apollo 11 mission, along with Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins. With this, America had won the space race. So you can see that this is Neil Armstrong, this is Buzz Aldrin, and this is Michael Collins. So by the 1970s, the United States and the Soviet Union were able to finally unite and form the first international space mission, the Apollo-Soyuz that connected an Apollo module with a Soviet Soyuz capsule. This symbolized the improvement of relations between the United States and the Soviet Union. With this step came the start of the International Space Station. With additional efforts from European countries, Japan, Canada, and Brazil, the International Space Station was able to be assembled and be a place of space research. Since the year 2000, the International Space Station has been inhabited by people to this very day and is the longest continuous human habitation in low Earth orbit. The International Space Station became fully operational in the year 2009 and is the place where many studies are conducted to further explore life and material science in the anti-gravity environment. The International Space Station is just one of the several great advances in space exploration by NASA. Other great projects from NASA are things like the Hubble Space Telescope, which is essentially one of the largest space telescopes that was launched into orbit. It observes a bunch of cosmic wonders every single day. So just like the one in this picture, it was able to observe a lot of stuff in outer space. So this picture was taken exactly 1 year ago from today, which is really cool. So with these grades, however, also came with a lot of setbacks. These setbacks include the national disasters of the Challenger shuttle explosion of 1986 and the 2003 Columbia disaster, where many of our astronauts were unfortunately lost. These were national catastrophes, and the brave astronauts who were on the space shuttles then are still continuously honored today. So while NASA was continuing to work on their programs, in came a private space company. Now, you may or may not recognize the man in this picture. His name is Elon Musk, and he is the founder of many successful companies such as PayPal and the electric car company Tesla. With the goal of conducting greenhouse experiments on the red planet Mars, Elon Musk was able to start the company SpaceX in the year 2002. The problem of his space journey was, the beginning of his space journey was kind of rocky. He had faced many problems with his rockets. However, with perseverance, Elon Musk was able to successfully launch his first rocket, Falcon 9. After years of launches, SpaceX was able to reach orbit and also can carry commercial payloads to space. Due to his success, SpaceX was able to receive a contract from NASA to carry cargo to the International Space Station. At this point, SpaceX was building Falcon 9, a rocket with 9 engines instead of the traditional one. It is capable of carrying the largest satellites into space, which lifted off in 2010. And also SpaceX built its first Dragon capsule for cargo missions, which took off in the year 2012. Elon Musk was really able to revolutionize space rockets. From making them reusable, which ultimately made it cheaper, he was able to gain a lot of attention for his outstanding projects. He was even able to piece together three rockets to launch at the same time called the Falcon Heavy. And with that, he even put his own Tesla car onto the top and placed a mannequin called Starman into the driver's seat. Pretty cool, right? So during this time, SpaceX was still partnering up with NASA. NASA had ended their space shuttle program in the year 2011 after government funding for it had stopped. This presented SpaceX with the perfect opportunity to provide a private company to partner up with NASA to bring human space travel back into action. With the creation of the Dragon capsule, human flight to space via SpaceX was possible. As I mentioned in the beginning of today's lecture, the spacecraft Crew Dragon Demo 2 had its first human flight just 3 weeks ago. Some of you may even remember this day. With Doug Hurley as the commander along with Bob Behnken, the original launch day was supposed to be Wednesday, May 27th. However, due to the weather conditions at the time, the launch was aborted just 16 minutes and 53 seconds before it was supposed to launch. Instead, the launch day was rescheduled to May 30th, and it took place all at the Kennedy Space Center in Merritt Island, Florida. This was a historical moment, as this was the first crewed launch with a commercial spacecraft. So, Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken in the Crew Dragon 2 flew 19 hours and was able to finally land on the International Space Station. But did you know that they were not the only 2 passengers on the flight? Along with these 2 astronauts, someone else flew with them. Actually, this someone is not a person, but a dinosaur named Tremor. This dinosaur belonged to the sons of the astronauts in the flight, and this isn't the first time that little plushies went to space. Previously, other astronauts had brought stuffed animals as well, and even other things like their guitars. So getting back to topic, the purpose of the Dragon mission was to show the success of having crewed spaceflight operation with SpaceX hardware. If successful, which so far it has been, it will open up doors for future private spacecraft flights carrying up to 7 passengers to the Earth's orbit, or even to the International Space Station. The future of space travel has really expanded due to the flights. With the collaboration between NASA and SpaceX, expeditions to the moon, Mars, and beyond are now all within reach. As of right now, astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken and Tremor, the dinosaur, are still on the International Space Station right now. Their stay is not yet finalized. However, it is predicted that they will be there for around 1 to 2 months. This will allow them to carry out spacewalks and work with the 3 other astronauts that are currently on the space station. Once Crew Dragon 2 makes their way back to planet Earth, I hope that you guys will be able to learn all the cool facts and history that made what they have done all possible. So, before I move on, I just wanted to mention one astronaut really quickly. This astronaut is Christina Koch. She is a NASA astronaut, and earlier this year, she broke the record for the longest single spaceflight by a woman. She was up in space for a total of 328 days. That's almost a whole year in outer space. The reason I wanted to mention her is because not only did she do something extraordinary, but she also graduated from North Carolina State University for her bachelor and master's degree, which, if you guys remember, is the school I attend. I thought it was something really cool to share because it shows that someone so close in our community is capable of literally reaching for the stars. So I hope that this can be an inspiration for all of us to really persevere on our dreams and go above and beyond. Also, take a look at the picture on the right here. This is the NC State flag inside the space station, looking down on planet Earth. Pretty cool, right? So let's talk a little bit about the future. For the future of space travel, one of the biggest goals at hand is human travel to Mars. Mars could just be the next planet for civilization for humans. Right now, NASA has a lot of rovers such as the Curiosity rover collecting data about the environment and conditions of the red planet. The current plan for human travel to space is set for the 2030s. So that is around 10 years from now. It is exciting to be able to see what is beyond our own planet and potentially being able to travel out there ourselves one day. So now that we covered a lot on space travel and exploration, let's learn a few cool things about astronauts themselves. The first thing we're going to talk about is gravity. Gravity is the force that pulls objects to the center. This is why on planet Earth, when we throw a ball in the air, it falls right back down. Gravity is pulling our body and other objects to the floor. In space, however, there's really not a lot of gravity. This microgravity is why things can float. They are able to be in continuous free fall until another object or force stops it. So when astronauts move in space, they are able to float around and even be upside down like in this picture. And another cool thing that I should mention is that when they sleep, they actually need to be strapped down to inside their sleeping bags so that they don't go floating away. Additionally, in space, because there's essentially no force that is pulling you down, astronauts really don't need to use a lot of their muscles like we do on Earth when we exercise or do a lot of activities. Because of this, astronauts pretty much have their own gym in space so that they can work out every single day to force their muscles and bones to work and preserve it once they come back to Earth. They exercise for about 2 hours a day and for 6 days a week. Of course, when they're using this machinery, they still need to be strapped down so they can actually have some force they are pushing against. This way, once they return back to planet Earth, where there's a lot of gravity, their bodies are able to accommodate it and accommodate it better than if they didn't work out. So let's talk a little bit about food in space. On Earth, we normally get our food from the grocery store or a restaurant. However, in space, astronauts do not have that option. In space, food is prepared by food scientists on Earth, and they are packaged and sent up with the astronauts or through cargo. All the food is in these little pouches, and depending on the astronaut, they can even add a little bit of spices like hot sauce or salt and pepper. But keep in mind, all these foods have a little bit of liquid consistency, or else they will just float away. For example, normally on Earth, we see that salt is in a crystallized form. However, if you take that to space, all the salt crystals will float everywhere. So in space, the salt that they use is actually just liquid salt, so it can just be better controlled. All the food that goes into space also needs to be compact, meaning that they don't take up much space. So things like tortillas can be brought up instead of bread because tortillas are a lot flatter. Foods also need to be nutritious so that the astronauts are healthy. And they also need to be easy and quick to prepare. So when I say easy to prepare, it means that it is efficient to make. Astronauts don't really have a kitchen with a stove or oven to cook their foods. So all their food is pretty much pre-cooked. And many times they just simply need to rehydrate the food with water to make it ready to eat. Some cool foods that astronauts have eaten in space are things like macaroni and cheese or scrambled eggs and even pizza. For the future, it is possible for astronauts to grow their own food. As of now, they have already grown things like lettuce, like over here in this picture. This is important for the future of spaceflight because later on, these spaceflight journeys are going to be a lot longer and farther away from Earth. So once they're able to grow their own foods, this will allow the food supply to be more plentiful as they travel. So after learning so much about space travel and exploration and astronauts themselves, let's see if we can answer a few questions. So here I have a board of quiz questions, and with each picture I have a question. So all you have to do is pick a number or a picture, and I will click it and reveal the question. Okay, so does anyone want to go first? And if you do, you can just simply unmute yourself.
I do.
Okay, give me 1 second. Who said that?
What?
Lucas?
You're right.
Okay. Which one do you want to pick?
Number 4.
Number 4? Okay. What is the next most suitable planet for human civilization?
Mars.
What was that? Can you say it louder?
Mars.
Mars? Okay, does everyone agree? All right.
Yeah.
That's correct. So Mars is the most next suitable planet for civilization. And this is one of the reasons that Elon Musk was inspired to create his space company, SpaceX, so that people are able to travel to places like Mars.
Mars.
Okay. Next person.
Neptune.
Let's see.
I'll go.
Me. I do.
Oh, who said that?
I know I did. A lot of people.
Let me see. If you guys can raise your hands or do a thumbs up, and then I'll call on you. Okay.
I like number 9, the Earth.
Oh, hold on. If you can't unmute yourself.
I like number 9.
Okay, we'll go back to Mia. Okay.
Hi.
Clara, I see that you said something. You want number 9?
Yeah.
Okay, let me click number 9. Oh wait, hold on. Let me do something real
For the
quick.
participants, there's like this raise hand thing.
Uh,
I think if you're at the Zoom page, you can see like somebody enter this like.
okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. Alright, number 9. Would you rather travel to the moon, Mars, or the International Space Station, and why? Clara, do you want to answer this one?
Yes.
Which one would you want to travel to? Moon, Mars, or the International Space Station?
Mars.
Why?
Because I want to see how tall is the tallest mountain in Mars.
Oh, that's really cool. Does anyone else want to answer this question as well? If you do, let me see.
Space station, I would say, because then you can see, well, if the space station was higher than that.
Wait, were you saying something? Sorry, can you say that again?
You can go to. I wish was the space station was higher than our space station, because then we could see all the planets rather than just one.
Yeah, that's really cool. Actually, I think I would want to go on the International Space Station as well. But I don't think we can see all the planets. I think we can only see our planet Earth on the International Space Station because it's only in low orbit. And did you know on planet Earth, we can actually some nights or sometime we can look up and actually see it. So if you guys go back to your parents,
Question.
you're actually able to see the International Space Station somewhere. Okay.
04.
So let me go back to the question. Okay, so does anyone else want to pick a question?
I'll go. Yeah, I do.
Mia, I see you're not.
I said I do. I want to pick number 1.
Okay, so Mia picked number 1, but while someone's answering, let's see if the rest of us can be quiet. Okay, Mia, what is the name of the first satellite into space?
I wanna.
Do you know, Mia?
Dragon.
What was that? The dragon? That's not it. But let's see, does anyone else want to go? That's not quite right.
I do. I do.
Okay.
I do.
If anyone else can just be quiet, and I'm gonna pick someone who can raise their hand.
I didn't have a turn.
Fiona is raising her hand. Do you know the answer, Fiona? So Mia said dragon, but that wasn't correct. So you have either Sputnik or Explorer. Sputnik, that is the correct answer. Yay! So Sputnik was the first satellite that was launched into space, and it was launched by the Soviet Union. So the Dragon was the most recent one with humans, right? And the Explorer was the first American. But it was not the first satellite because Sputnik was. Okay, good job. So we have a few more questions if anyone else.
I want to do it. I want to do it.
Jason, do you want to pick a question?
Yeah, because I didn't have a turn.
Okay, now's your turn. You can pick one now.
I want to pick number 4.
Number 4. I think we just went over number 4. Do you want to pick a different one?
Oh, number 2.
Number 2? Okay. Who was the first man on the moon? Do you recognize this guy over here? You know what his name is?
Give me some time. I have to think.
Okay. I'll give you 5 seconds, and if you can't, I'll move on.
I just have some minutes.
No, we don't have time for 5 minutes.
5 hours?
I know. I just have 1 minute to think.
All right, I'll give you a little bit of time to think. While Jason's thinking, everyone else think and see if you guys can come up with the same answer. But before we answer, let's have Jason think about it and see if you can answer it.
Neil Armstrong.
Jason, do you have an answer?
Neil Armstrong. I think he just said it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Neil Armstrong is the correct answer, and he was the first man on the moon.
Neil Armstrong.
Who else?
Wait, I'm still thinking.
Oh no, sorry, Jason. We already said that. Someone said the answer. But do you guys know who the two other people that were on the mission with them? Do you know their names?
Hello, man.
One of his name. So the 2 people that were also with them during the Apollo 11 mission were Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins. But do you guys know who Elon Musk is?
Yeah.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Sonia? Who is
He's the guy. He does the SpaceX and Tesla.
Yeah, and also PayPal, right? He's a
and also borrowing company.
Mm-hmm. So who is Doug Hurley? Does anyone know? This one might be a little difficult.
The launch, the recent thingy.
Yeah, so Doug Hurley was the commander of the most recent Dragon launch. So right now, he's in the International Space Station.
Dragon launch.
He also went with Bob.
On the moon.
Okay, next question.
I'll go.
Oh, I see Sophia.
Can I do? I want to do number 5.
Wait, let me ask Sophia and Alina first. Do you want to?
Number 5. Number 8.
Number 8? Okay, Sophia said number 8. So let me click. How long do astronauts exercise each?
Information. How should I?
Sophia and Alina answer this.
Quite the bathroom. You should go over there.
Yeah, do you know how long astronauts exercise each day?
5 hours.
5 hours? Does everyone agree with this?
2 hours. No.
No, 10.
2 hours. 10.
10.
5 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours.
Be quiet.
2 hours. 5 hours. Just 2 hours.
It's a little bit too long, right? So what else? What's another option we can pick that's not 5 hours? Because 5 hours of exercise is so much.
2 hours. At least 30,000 steps if I did it.
2 hours.
Sophia, do you think it's 2 hours?
Yes.
That is the correct answer. So astronauts need to exercise around 2 hours each day for about 6 days a week. So that means pretty much every single day except one day they have to exercise for around 2 hours. So do you remember why they need to exercise? What's going to happen if they don't?
I did.
Let me see. Charlotte, what happens if astronauts don't exercise, or why do they need to exercise? Do you know the answer, Charlotte? I think she's thinking, but while she's thinking, everyone else can probably just think of an answer or think of an explanation for this. All right, it's okay if you don't know. Or let me see if someone else can answer.
Okay.
So hi, Nick.
All right. I think apparently if they don't exercise 2 hours a day and they go back to Earth, they will die or something.
I don't think they'll die necessarily, but they won't be able to do a lot of stuff like normal people do, right? So in space, because of gravity, their body is essentially weightless. And because of this, their muscles and their bones really don't need to put as much force or work into it. And because when you don't use something, it's just going to deteriorate. So they're up in space. If they don't exercise, their bones and their muscles are going to deteriorate. So when they come back to Earth, they won't be as strong, or they'll be a lot weaker, right? So good job. Okay, I think we have a few more questions if someone wants to pick one.
I want to go.
Okay, Peter.
Yeah. I want to do it.
Don't mind.
Me.
Okay, I see.
Go.
I hear Peter. Peter wants to.
Me.
Go.
Me. Go.
Peter?
Me.
Hello, can you hear me, Peter? Okay, well, I don't think you can hear me, but let me just go with someone else. I think Daniel and, is that,
Number 5.
oh, hold on, give me 1 second. Let me see.
I want to go. Number 5.
Sophia?
Number 5.
I'll pick number 5. How many days was Christina Cook in space for? You remember who this lady is? She broke the record for having the longest single female spaceflight ever. Do you remember how many days was she up there for?
322 days.
322? Is that even an answer?
25.
I think that's an answer.
28. I know.
Okay.
I know.
Wait, let me ask. Yeah.
Answer.
58.
Wait, that's not even an option.
328.
Yes.
I know the answer. 328.
Yes.
328.
Yes, thank you guys.
328.
328 is the correct answer. So she was up in space for a total of 328 days. And that's so long, right? Do you guys think you're able to be in space for that long? I don't know.
No. No way.
Only
for 5 days.
I'll be doing so many things on Earth. Like I like being on Earth, and I don't know if I'll be able to be in space for even a month. That's so long, right? So
Yeah, of course that is too long. A lot of hours.
what's
I heard that.
too? Does anyone remember?
Space.
What school
I heard that days on
NC State.
are shorter than days
She
on.
went to NC State for her bachelor and her master's degree. And that's the school I go to. So it's pretty cool, right?
25 days. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
next question. Does
I want to go.
Okay, Peter, which one do you want?
I want number 2.
I think we already did that one. Do you want to do number 3 instead? Or-
Yes.
Okay, I'll put number 3. Why would you want to travel to space one day, and why?
Me. Because I will. There's no one.
Would you like to go to space?
Yes.
You want?
Ride in the rocket ship?
Would you want to travel to space one day?
Mm.
No.
No.
That's all right. I don't know if I'll be able to.
I don't talk about that, and I didn't even want to.
All right. If you want to go to space one day, do a thumbs up. And if you don't want to go to space, do a thumbs down. Let me see. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs down? I don't know. I'm like in the middle. I feel like it'll be a really cool experience to go, but also I'm really scared of like a lot of space stuff. What if I see something like an alien out there, right? That'd be so crazy. All right, let me see who has their thumbs up. Okay, Jason, why do you want to go to space?
Because aliens are just not bad. They have space shuttles. Because aliens, sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're bad.
You want to meet an alien one day?
Yeah, but if you want to go closer, you have to use a USO.
Mm-hmm. That's so good. So, Jason. So who put their thumbs down? Let me see. Who had their thumbs down? Okay, Tanya, why do you not want to go to space one day?
I think it would just be a little scary.
Scared? There's a lot of mysteries in space, right? Like a lot of space is not yet discovered. So
I fall.
yeah. Oh, I don't think you'll fall. I think it's just because you're kind of free floating since there's really not a lot of gravity, right? So
Yeah, but
thank you. Okay, Mia, do you want to go to space one day?
no,
No. Why don't you want to go to space?
because I'm scared.
You're scared. You're scared of what?
Scared.
Are you scared? Like, are you scared of heights, or are you scared of the microgravity, or there's just so many things, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys for sharing. All right. So I think we have a few more questions.
Me. I want to pick one.
I think you already with Mia. Let's ready for someone that hasn't gone yet.
I haven't had a turn.
Hold on. This is Daniel. Is that Charlene? I think.
I want to pick one.
Okay, you can pick one. Which one do you want? I think it's Daniel and Charlene. Or
Daniel and Charlotte, which one do you
oh, Charlotte. Sorry.
6.
Number 6. Okay, what kind of food would you want to eat in space? So a lot of astronauts ate stuff like macaroni and cheese, scrambled eggs, pizza, right? What do you want to eat in space?
Macaroni and cheese.
What about you, Charlotte?
Like macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese. Do you think food will taste different in space, or do you think it's going to taste the same?
It's probably going to taste different.
It's probably going to be a little bit different, right? I heard that in space, there's going to be a lot. You're not going to taste a lot of flavors as intense as you would do on space, right? So who else want to share what they want to eat in space? Does anyone else have another thing that they want to try? Leo? What do you want? You want to eat pizza? That's so cool. Actually, like
I want to eat pizza too.
I think I do too. That'd be cool, right?
And I like pizza. Macaroni pizza.
That's cool. I think I would want to eat pizza too.
I like macaroni pizza.
Macaroni pizza. Oh, that's like a fusion of mac and cheese and just pizza, right? Just put it all.
Snack.
Okay, let me see.
Emily, they eat snacks. And I like macaroni and cheese.
Oh, I do too. I think I want to eat candy in space. I feel like eating candy will be really cool, right? Okay, next question. I think you're.
There's only one question.
I want to do it.
7.
The last question, 7. Do you want to pick that one, Vincent?
1.
Yes.
Okay. What does NASA stand for? NASA stand for?
I didn't mean I want to pick it.
Oh, it's okay. You picked it anyways. So does anyone know this answer?
I know.
What's
It's
the
B.
I know.
Don't say it yet. Let me if you know it, just push it to the side. Let me see if I can pick someone.
No.
If you know the answer, raise your hand. Let me see. If you know the answer, and let me see who I can pick on. Okay. Wayne, I see that you are raising your hand. Do you want to unmute yourself and say what the answer is?
B?
B? Are you sure?
Not 1.
That's correct. That's good. Do you want to read out the answer for us?
I'm good.
You're good. Does anyone want to read out the answer? It's kind of long, right?
Daniel.
Long answer. So does anyone want to see if they're able to read what it says? I think
Longest one.
hold on. Let me see.
I know the answer.
Hey, Zoe, what? Can you read it?
Astronauts and space. B. Astronauts. National astronauts and space admission.
That's so close. So you got national, right? But this is a really hard word, right? Aeronautics.
Oh no.
Do you want to try again, Zoe? It's national. Or does anyone else want to try it? It's kind of a really long word, right?
You know it?
Peter?
National Legend Standard and Admiration.
Wait, that's the wrong answer, Peter. We already said the right answer is B, right? So do you want to try?
Yeah.
What is this word? I just said it. It's really hard. Oh, okay. I'll just read it, right? And Space Administration, right? It's such a big word. So we normally just call it NASA. Okay. So is there a question we haven't done yet?
Number 2.
I don't know if we did number 9 yet. Oh, we already did number 8.
We didn't do number 1.
Oh, yeah, we did that. Okay.
Number 8.
We already did number 8.
Yeah.
We already did number 6 or 7, and let's see 6. Oh, we already did most of them, right?
Number 1.
I have one last question.
Number 1.
I have one last question. If everyone can be quiet,
Number 3. Me. The first one.
It's class over yet.
Hold on. If everyone can mute themselves really quickly, I have one last question that's really, really hard, okay? What holiday is celebrated this Sunday, June 21st?
I know.
It's class over yet.
It's a holiday on June 21st.
Father's Day.
Don't say it.
Father's Day.
Father's Day. It's class over yet.
Eva, what is the answer?
I know.
Father's
Yeah. So this
Father's Day.
Father's Day, right? So we need to make sure to tell our parents or tell our dads or father figures a happy Father's Day And it would be really cool if you guys can make him like a card or a small present, right? And I'm sure he'll be really happy. So if you haven't made one yet, make sure you guys make it either today or tomorrow. Okay, so good job, everyone. That's like all I have for you guys today. So overall, everybody did really good on the questions. I'm sorry if I didn't get a chance to hear you talk, but I hope you guys have learned a lot about this. And in our lifetimes, we're going to see so many advances in technology and several steps to our future, right? And I hope you guys will have a better understanding of it, and maybe one day you will be able to travel to space as well. So here's the end of my presentation. So if you guys have any questions, you guys can ask it now, or if you guys have anything to share with everyone, or else that's it. And you guys are free to leave whenever.
Why
I have something to say.
on Earth? Why days on Earth are shorter than the days on the in space, and by how much?
Hold on, give me one
Like,
second.
how does it take? Like, why does it take longer for you to get like for days on the in space rather than days on Earth? It takes longer.
So in space, I don't know that question very well, but I don't know the exact answer. But you know, how many hours are in a single day on Earth?
24.
24, right?
24.
Yeah. So actually, but the thing I do know is that if you're on the International Space Station, you know, it's like going around the Earth, right? So it actually goes around 16 times to see the sunrise and 16 times to see the sunset. So normally in a single day, we see only one sunrise and one sunset, right? On the International Space Station, they see 16 sunsets and 16 sunrises. Pretty cool, right?
24 times 16 equals.
But that's not exactly how it is, right? I think it's different for each planet. Okay, does anyone have
something to say?
a comment or a question? Eva?
I have a comment.
Hold on, let me ask Eva first, and I'll get back to you, Alex.
How much sleep does an astronaut need?
Oh, that's a good question. So how much sleep do we need on Earth? Does anyone know?
12 hours?
No, that's so long. That's half of the day. That's so much. Do you guys sleep for 12 hours? I don't think I sleep for 12 hours.
20.
Sometimes I really sleep for like around 6 hours.
So yeah, on Earth, we sleep around 6 to 8 hours a day, right? So that's because our bodies as humans, we need that sleep. So that's the same thing in space. In space, the astronauts are still people. They still need to be able to have the same amount of sleep. So they also sleep around 6 to 8 hours. That's a very good question, Eva. Good job. Okay, Alex, did you have a question just now? Or someone else? Jason? I see you have your hand raised. Hold on. Do you have a question or a comment? Whoa, is that a rocket?
No, it's a space shuttle.
This is space. Did you make that?
Oh yeah. Some parts are made of Daddy, some parts are made of Mommy, but some parts are made of myself.
Oh, thank you for sharing. That's so cool. How long did it take you to make it?
But if it lays them down, they can blast off.
Whoa! Does everyone see Jason's or Jason's space shuttle?
Oh, yeah. It helps them land. And when it goes like this, it helps them fly flat.
That's so cool.
It can help them fly down or flat. What about this? And it has a big rocket booster right here.
Oh, that's another cool one, Vincent.
These three things can help them, and this thing right here helps the astronauts, and right here can help them get in.
Whoa. Oh, I see a lot of you guys have really cool planes or space shuttles.
The astronauts go right here to see if there's anything going on, and some astronauts go here to see things.
Mm-hmm.
Some sit here and some sit here.
Thank you for sharing that.
Wait, after that's right there, I close this thing and I close these things. Yo. Like this. And then but then the wheel is small. Yo.
Does anyone else have a comment? Anyone else have a comment or a question they want to ask?
Ow.
Evan and Emily? Oh, we have the same name. We're both Emily's, right?
Yes.
Do you want to share something or do you have a question?
I am Emily Lai.
We have the same name.
Yeah.
If you have a question or a comment, raise your hand and I'll call on you. Oh, let me see. Okay, Lucas, do you want to go again?
Your statement was incorrect.
For which one?
The one that you said you had the same name. First of all, most likely your middle name isn't the same. Even though you're both Chinese, your last name might be the same, but they're still not.
That's correct. When I say we have the same name, I meant we share the same first name, right? So we're both from Emily, which is cool. Okay, let me see. Zoe, I see you have your hand raised. Okay, I'm gonna unmute you. What would you like to share?
A character in a movie.
Okay, which character?
It is a robot named Wall-E.
Wall-E. I know that. Has anyone ever watched Wall-E?
Zoe. Sarah. I have.
What's cool about where does Wall-E live?
Junkyard.
Yes. So,
Earth.
so in the beginning of the movie, Wall-E lived in like a junkyard, right, on planet Earth. And in that scene, Earth was really like messy. Like there's really nobody there.
It was messed up.
So that just shows that we need to protect our Earth. Otherwise, our Earth is going to end up like that. Right? And
Yeah, it's a lot of trash. And remember there were jet bots and the
昨天谁喝洒了吧？你把它扶起来。
Hi, Lydia.
你不听了吗？
妈妈跳画的。
听完了再。
Hold on. Give me 1 second. If you want to stop sharing screen. Oh wait, never mind. It's good. Okay. Yeah, so if you guys are done, you guys can just leave whenever, or if you have anything else you want to share, you guys can say that now too. So if you have anything else, raise your hand, and if not, we can end today's session. Oh wait, I see Alex.
My sister interviewed Christina Cook.
Really? How old is your sister?
My sister caught her.
What? How did she meet her? Or how did she?
How? On live NASA.
Whoa, that's so cool.
He caught her on live NASA.
Did she?
How's that possible?
That is possible. Did she call her when Christina was in space?
I call a.
So actually, when they're in space, they're actually able to connect to a lot of stuff like the internet, or they're able to connect to like they're able to call people. So it's really cool that your sister got to call her. Okay, I think no one else has any more questions, right? If no one else has anything else to add, I think we're done for today. So thank you guys for sitting and listening to today's lecture, and I hope that you guys have all learned a lot. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
谢谢。
Now I want to be the host.